Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm the marketing engineer behind the computer at AH Graphics. This is the second video in a 3-part series. If you missed the first video, please go back and check that one out first. This second video is about the biggest mistake new business owners make when getting started marketing their business. By the end of this video, you will know what to do with your business. So we're going to talk about the 2 types of marketing, and in my opinion, there are only 2 types of marketing. There is getting noticed marketing and there is being remembered marketing. If people don't know about you, then you focus on getting noticed. If you are looking at always getting new types of customers, like if you have one-time customers, then you're always working on getting noticed marketing. If you want to have customers repeatedly buying from you or buying multiple services from you, then you can focus on being remembered. When you're starting, we're going to talk about getting noticed. And so that's the part that I focused most of this on, because before you have sales, you're not worrying about being remembered. The biggest mistake that new businesses make when marketing on their own, people assume that people will find them. So if you have a storefront, you assume that people are going to see that you're there. If you have an online business, you assume people are going to find you online, especially when you have an idea that you've been ruminating on for a really long time, and so your spouse knows, and your kids know, and your neighbors know, and whoever you have coffee with every day knows. And so you assume that that message is getting out farther. A really good example of that is when I sat down in the class last week. She said, "How long have you been in business? I didn't know you were around." Well, I've been in business since 2013 officially, but I've been freelancing since 2004. So there are lots of opportunities for us to have crossed paths in the past. And I have advertising in town. I'm online. There's always people that aren't going to know I'm here. And it doesn't matter what business you're in. You always assume that somebody's going to cross paths with you somehow. But if you're not specifically looking for that person when they're looking for you, you have to be doing more work. That's the biggest assumption, is that people will find me. People also assume that if others know about them, then they're going to get customers. But sometimes, like if you are talking with your family is not your customer. Even though you're spreading the message, you're not actually getting your message to your customers. So you have to be aware of that as well. When you are actually talking to somebody who may be a customer of yours, ask them for the sale. Tell them what you're doing. Some people are too scared to ask. For instance, I design business cards. If anybody needs business cards, I am your person. I can get you business cards that are actually going to get people calling you. These are my latest business cards. Since I do so many business cards, I change them up often. My current business card says, "Don't let business slip this year," because what I find is people intend on doing something and they don't ever follow through. There's a calendar on the back. It says on the front that flip the business card over, circle a date that you want to have customers, call me 2 months before that, because you can't get customers today if you're advertising today. It usually takes time. All right, so tips to get noticed. Ask for the sale. Every conversation matters. Make sure you tell people, don't be shy, especially if they start asking about what you're doing. Tell them that this is what I do. Can you please tell your friends? Do you know anybody who's getting married? You know, that sort of thing. And asking them specifically to share, because your best referrals are going to be from people who have actually talked to you, especially when you're just starting out. My dad has always been really shy. It's something I've watched him over the years that he's done, like learning how to do public speaking. He actually dragged all of us kids through learning how to do public speaking, so I've had a little bit of practice. But one of the things he's always telling me is, "Hey, Ann, make sure if you see somebody who wants to fish, tell them to call me." My dad is a charter fishing captain in Upper Michigan. So he fishes out of Lac La Belle and Lake Superior. This was not something he did when I was a kid. If I ever hear anybody talking about fishing, I say, "Hey, you know what? If you ever make it to Upper Michigan, call up my dad. He does fishing charters, he does sightseeing charters, and he's not shy to tell me that." And I'm not shy to tell people, because it's way easier to talk about somebody else's business and promote them. So some of the specific marketing ideas I have for starting out are on this list here. EDDM is Every Door Direct Mail, which is using the U.S. Postal Service's routes. You can say, "I want to send to this route specifically." We've done this a lot in Park Rapids around the lakes. So if some people have services like cabin opening or air duct cleaning or something just for people who are coming for the season, they'll send out a mailing just to this route because it goes around 3 lakes. So that's Every Door Direct Mail. You don't need to have addresses for that. It will just go to everybody on that route. Marketing ideas for getting started include signage. So your building signage, your vehicle signage, anything that you can put in a place where people are going to see it. Billboards, that sort of thing. Referrals. I help people deliberately create a referral program. Business cards are the most effective way, most powerful, effective way to get your message in front of people. It's small, people hold on to them. You can post them just about anywhere. Businesses don't mind if you leave them. And you can buy business cards anywhere. You don't have to pay me to design a business card. You can go to Vistaprint. It depends where you are in your business. If you're in the branding section or if you just want to get something cheap out, there's always an option. So I just attended a wedding expo, and it was very, very interesting to me to see the difference in what I would call quality signage between all those different vendors. Some of them had very, very nice business cards. They have like a satin finish. Some
or
of them
little
had
stands
foil.
on there. There's one that has a little cute little stand that you like put the business card on.
And then there's some people who just obviously went to wherever they could get their banner cheapest and typed in one line of text and posted it behind their booth. So there's a huge range, and you could see who had spent the time on their marketing and branding and who hadn't. People tend to spend a lot of money in the wedding industry, and when you have 150 booths there, you really want to stand out. Obviously not what we're doing here, but people do notice that. So some of the examples I have here, I did the clean plate billboards, a few business card samples with logo designs that I've done. The AAA roll-off service, this is a postcard that he is putting into his current customers' mailings. So when he sends an invoice, they get this card in their invoice, and if they hand the card to a neighbor who then asks for service, they get $25. This is a deliberate method of getting referrals. And talking about the 7 touches too, when we first designed this system, he put these in mailings 3 months in a row, and he called me and says, "This isn't working, what am I gonna do?" I'm like, okay, let's try something else. So we did something else for a while, and then he called me in December and said, "I need more postcards," because people are starting to call. And so it does take a few times, especially when you're new business.